What I like about astronomy is the oldest of the sciences. It's been around longer than any other science, and the best part of it is it combines all of the sciences. So whatever area of science you're interested in, whether it's chemistry, biology, physics, any field in science you can think of, astronomy uses all of those fields. It's a combination of all of them. There's a lot of different areas in astronomy. There are some guys that do astrophotography, and they never look through an eyepiece. All they have is a camera hooked up to the telescope. And you can get into astrophysics and astrochemistry, but what we're going to talk about today is observational astronomy. What do guys like myself look at and study using telescopes? So we're going to start to see how big the universe is. It's so large that we can't use terms like miles or kilometers. They become pretty inefficient pretty fast. So we had to come up with a new way to measure distance. So as the slide says here, a light year is the distance that light will travel in 1 year. If you multiply it out, what you end up with is 1 light year is about 6 trillion miles. So let's think about that for a minute. What's the closest star to Earth? Our sun, right? Our sun is 93 million miles away. So 93 million miles is a lot less than 6 trillion. If you work it out, our sun is what we call 8 light minutes away. It takes the light from the sun 8 minutes to get here. So if you could hit a switch and turn the sun off, it wouldn't get dark for 8 minutes. The next closest star after our sun is 4.2 light years away. So that's 4.2 times 6 trillion miles. Now we're talking a distance of 24 plus trillion miles. And you quickly realize that we do not know how to travel that kind of distance yet. You take a look at the astronauts that go to the space station. Space station only orbits about 240, 250 miles above the Earth. The Apollo astronauts who went to the moon, they actually went somewhere, but that was only 240,000 miles. Now we're talking 24 trillion miles to get to the next star after our sun. And we just do not have the technology to travel that kind of distance. As astronomers, we also study galaxies. We live in the Milky Way galaxy. Our sun is one star out of about 200 billion stars in our galaxy. And our galaxy is one of about 200 billion galaxies in the universe. We don't know exactly how many stars are in our galaxy. Estimates range between 200 billion to 400 billion. This image is what we call the Hubble Deep Field. We took the Hubble Space Telescope, we pointed it to a section of the sky where we didn't expect to see anything. 10.5 hours later, we processed the images, and this is what we got back. So we have one star here at the bottom. We've got one star here in the middle, and we've got one star up on the top. Every other speck and every other smudge in this image is a galaxy containing billions of stars. Now that may not sound impressive until you consider how much of the sky we're looking at. If you took a quarter and you held a quarter out at arm's length, the amount of sky in this image is the size of George Washington's eyeball. So I don't know how many galaxies we've got here. You can try and count them. But you can imagine if you've got that many galaxies in a piece of sky the size of George Washington's eyeball, you can imagine how many galaxies there must be in the entire universe. You start to realize it's a very large place.